Greetings, mortals, and welcome. Please present your tickets for validation. Thank you. Your existence has been acknowledged, and you have been granted access every Thursday and Friday. You will be accompanying your guides, Krista and Brandy, along with a world-renowned guest. They will be exploring an intriguing tendril of what humans refer to as reality each week, as they strive to advance you further down the path to the truths of your physical earth and what lies on the other side. Remember to please keep your hands and feet in the vehicle at all times, and do not exit until the craft has come to a complete stop.
Hey, welcome everybody. Glad everybody could make it tonight. And we look like Brandy might be froze again. There she is. Can you hear me?
Am I back?
You're back.
I can hear you, yeah. Okay.
Good deal. We don't know how long we have Brandy with us tonight, only because her service just sucks.
I know. I don't know what's going on.
I have
Come on,
no
AT&T,
idea.
do better. Do better.
That's right. That's right. Now you're coming in a little clearer, so let's just see where it goes, right?
Right? Let's hope so. I've moved all over my house, like from room to room, trying to figure out.
Right? Trying to figure out where to go. And so far, this is best.
It's the hottest place in the house. I'm sitting here sweating.
Well, you should put a fan on you. Should have put.
I'm not moving.
No, don't move and don't touch nothing.
I know. That's it. I'm here. I'm done.
I hear you. Well, we definitely appreciate everybody tuning in tonight. We thought we'd actually just talk about everyday hauntings, places that like you go to and you don't realize they're haunted, right?
No, you don't. You don't. And I know that we have some empaths out there that listen to the show and things like that. So you know what I'm talking about when I say you go into a place and you're just like, you have that feeling. You just know.
Mm-hmm.
And for me, it's like super freaky because you're like, it's somewhere I could have been there 100 times. And it's just that last time I walk in there, I'm like, oh my goodness, there's something going on here. And I'm not quite sure of who or what I'm dealing with here. Right.
Right. I know you said that you had a little story you were gonna talk about.
Yeah, I have the story. And I thought about this today, and when we were talking, and I kind of forgot about it, and I don't know why, because it was really something very strange. It's in a town that's located near me, and it's in a store that people frequent quite often. I don't want to give out the store or the names or the details because it was kind of traumatic. You know what I mean?
Sure.
What happened is there was a girl who worked in this particular store. It's a smaller store, so there's usually only 1, 2, or maybe 3 employees on at a time. And she was at work one day, and her significant other, he came in the store and killed her right in the store.
What was it, during business hours or?
It was during business hours. She was at work. He walked into the store. He shot her, and then he killed himself.
How long ago was this?
And this was a few years back. It was a few years back, and I'm going to say probably about 10, 11, maybe 11 or 12 years ago.
Wow.
I'm going to guess around in that time frame. I've got to think about the jobs I've had and then, go from there. And so he then killed himself in the store. And it was in a very small town, and I'm talking about just a couple thousand people max in this town.
Mm-hmm.
And this is a store that a lot of people went to because, it's out in the middle of nowhere. They have no place else to go. And if they want to pick up just a little something or just need just soup, just little things, this is a great place to go. Mm-hmm. So come a couple years later, 1 or 2 years later, I take over the store. I become the manager of this store. Now, again, like I said, it's only like 1, 2, or 3 employees on at a time. Well, me being the manager, I would come in the morning and I would, do my inventory or by ordering or, do all kinds of different things, straighten up the store. And I'll work a couple hours by myself because it was generally slow in the morning.
Right.
But then weird things started happening. I always noticed that you could hear things like moving, like in the back of the store. Mm-hmm. Like you would hear a glass move, or you could hear things like a package being moved, or those sounds, and you would just hear these things just keep moving around the store. It didn't happen every day, and it didn't happen at the same time every day, but it always happened in the morning when I was there, for about a 5-6 hour period. So I didn't think anything about it. Then I started noticing on my cameras, my CCTV cameras in there, that always in I would call it the storage room back there, where we kept the overstock, things like that, that the cameras would catch motion, and it'd always pop up, motion detected, motion detected, motion detected. And then, because I had to work there nights sometimes if employees called in, whatever. So I would notice that. And I thought, oh my gosh, I think we've got a rodent problem, because we know those cameras can pick up really minute things. And I'm thinking, okay, this is probably a mouse or something running around in there. So one night, me and another employee got in there and tearing up the whole store, and especially in that room, and we're pulling everything out from the walls. We're looking for any sign of, thank you, T-Bone, any sign of a mouse problem, because this came up a lot. Like there was multiple mice running around in there, and that's just something we can't have. There was food products in the store. We just can't have that. So I needed to find out if this was the problem. So I kept going and looking and pulling everything out. I did not find not one piece of evidence, not one little poop, not even one little poop of a mouse. You know what I mean? Because you're going to find that everywhere if you have mice. Heck, I live out in the middle of a field. Yeah, I live out in the middle of cornfields. I know all about it. I know what kinds of signs they leave, little, things being torn up, boxes, all kinds of stuff. Little disruptive critters is what they are. Right. So I didn't find not one thing that said that we had a mice infestation. But it still would do it again, showing there's motion back there. So one night I'm in there and I'm by myself. I'm getting ready to close down. And notice that while I'm doing the paperwork and everything and getting ready to, put the money away and all this other kind of stuff, I noticed that this motion detector is going off again. And you could see this bright yellow box coming back up on the screen that it's there, it's there, it's there. Right about that time, I noticed it looked like a dark kind of a mist, not a person shape, nothing. It just kind of floated, it just floated across that screen. Wow. And it was so it was so faint that if you didn't know what you were looking at, you would have missed it. You would have just thought it was just a glitch in the system. And I'm sitting there and I saw it. And I'm like, what is that? So I run back to the storage room and I'm looking and nothing at all. And that was the end of the night. There was nothing else that happened. If anything happened after that, I didn't catch it.
So real quick, had you known what had prior happened in there?
I did.
Okay.
I did. Yeah, it's kind of weird to work in a place like that, knowing what had happened. Yeah. And I didn't know these particular two, personally, but I knew of them and I knew of their family, so it is kind of strange. But you just kind of get past that after a while. It's just like everyday business. You just keep on going on.
Mm-hmm.
Well, then, again, coming back a few days later, and then I noticed that there was a glass that was sitting right in the middle of one of my counters.
Wow.
And I'm like, we don't put glass on the counters. There's a reason for that, because people throw and put things up on counters and stuff. They'll knock stuff off, and there's glass right up in the middle of the counter, and it was like a vase.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, so I'm just thinking, all right, somebody wanted that, and then they ended up not getting it, and they just left it there for the night, whatever. So I didn't think anything about it. I just put it back in its place, and it's all the way in the back of the store on one of the end caps where they had all these vases set up. And on the next end cap on the aisle right next to it was a bunch of pillows and things that they had, that decorative pillows and things that they were selling. So I'm like, okay. So I walked back there. Excuse me. And then I put it back, and then about an hour later, I crashed. And I didn't understand what was happening, and there was only me and one other lady in the store, and it scared this lady to death. She didn't know what happened, because we're just sitting there talking. The music on was very, very low, that you could barely even hear it in there.
Mm-hmm.
And you hear this glass break. So I go back to the back of the store, and I look, and it's that vase that had come off the shelf, which I didn't put it on the end of that shelf, I guarantee you. And it was that same vase that was on the floor, and it was busted.
Wow.
Now, the next crazy thing is there was a pillow laying next to it.
A pillow?
The same type of pillows. Yeah, the same type of pillows that were on the end cap on the next aisle from it was laying on the floor with it. Like somebody had threw the pillow, knocked the vase off, and then it ended up on the floor.
Yeah, that's weird.
Yeah, I know. I didn't understand that. And you can see it right on the camera, because the camera was pointing down towards the glass. You couldn't see the pillows, but you can see the pillow hit it. You couldn't see it come off the shelf, but you can see it hit the vase and fall to the floor. And there was nobody back there. Like I said, there was only me and one other lady in the store. So I have no idea how that happened. I don't even know. But you definitely got that weird feeling, like somebody was watching you.
Yeah.
And and you always had that creep factor. Like you'd walk through the store if you were alone, or, there was just somebody else in there and you're not together, but you're in the store. You'd always get that goosebump feeling, and the hair would raise on your arms, and it was just a very strange place to be. Now,
So
whether it was
okay, you cut out that last bit. What was that?
I said, so I don't know whether it was the couple that I'm thinking of, or if this is something entirely different. Now, nobody had said anything to me about having anything happen in the store prior to those horrific events. Nobody said anything, any type of activity, nothing. But again, it's a small town. It's something they just don't talk about.
Sure.
They don't want, their neighbor thing crazy and that kind of thing. So
that was my
I don't know
question.
why I didn't look into it more.
Yeah. Well, I was just wondering, if you thought maybe it was the woman or the man. Did you hear me?
I don't know. I would think more likely it was the employee. Only because they would find them in the, like in the stock room, the storage room, things where normal employees would be. So that's my guess. That's kind of what was happening there. But then again, was it a past employee? I worked at another store, and I worked with this lady, and I'm not going to say her name either, because she was just precious. And super sweet lady. And she came to work one day out of the blue, not scheduled, nothing. Okay. She's in her plain at-home clothes, and she just shows up to work and starts working. And I was asking her, I said, you're not supposed to be here. You're not on schedule. She goes, oh, I'm not? Okay. And then she would leave and go home. She did this to me a couple of times. Now, I knew her husband.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, hey, does she do this a lot? Is this something that's going on? You know, that she just shows up to work and wants to work a couple hours and go home? He's like,
Right.
I didn't even know she was doing that. I was like, okay. He goes, maybe I need to go get her checked out. It's like, yeah, you might want to, because she's just showing up and thinking, you know, that this was
Her shift.
you know, a normal day of work. She just
Right.
thought it was a normal day of work. And so he come back, you know, about a week later, you know, because she's had this time off to go this test. And he came back about a week later, and he told me that she will not be returning to work.
Oh.
And come to find out, she had a brain tumor that was pushed against her brain. So where she didn't know right from wrong, she would just do the last thing that she could remember doing. That's what she would do.
Oh, that's
So
sad.
on those particular days, on those particular days when she woke up and got dressed and came to work, it might not even be she woke up that way. She just got in her head right then that, hey, I got to go to work. It's time to go to work. Because that's the last thing she remembered.
Right.
So she did have a brain tumor. Anyway, so as the weeks passed, you know, he'd bring her in and we'd talk to her and things like that. She's a super sweet lady. And she eventually passed away from this brain tumor.
Oh.
But she would be in the hospital room, you know, and she would just be doing like this. And her husband would ask her, what are you doing? She goes, I'm on my smoke break. I'm at work. Why are you bothering me?
Oh, wow.
You know? And she, you know, because she just was thinking that she was literally somewhere else.
And literally thinking she was smoking.
Yes. Like that's like when she came to work, she literally thought she had to come to work. Like she was in her uniform and she wasn't. And, you know, this was the thing.
So when she would come to work, was she a smoker then? Or was that, you know, was she a smoker years ago?
Yeah, she was a smoker. Yeah.
Okay.
And she just didn't realize, you know, she just started having little quirks that nobody actually really noticed until I said, hey, she's coming to work and she's not even scheduled.
Yeah.
Is this, you know, we need to find out what's going on. So
Right.
she ended up dying. She ended up passing away a little bit later. But after that, it was kind of strange because every so often I would be sitting in the office, I'd be doing paperwork, ready to go, and you'd hear the paper start ruffling and you know, just little footsteps. And I'd worked there for years without any sign of anything going on. And I just kept calling out her name, and I'm like, I know you're here. I know you're here. But hello, watch the store while I'm gone, please, and thank you. You know, so when she had passed, we had all the employees. We had these little employee cups that everybody had around. So I got her an employee cup, and everybody signed it, and we actually put it in there and had her buried with her work cup. So she could have her break and have her drink.
Yeah.
So
you should have thrown a cigarette in there too.
But that's what I mean. Yeah, should have, but I didn't even think about it. You know, I it's just strange things like that. Things that we go in and we do these things normally every single day. You know, because I always talk about Walmart. We talk about Walmart, how we don't like going in there.
I hate that store.
Yeah, because imagine, you know, we talk about attachments, we talk about hitchhikers, we talk about transient spirits, we talk about, I don't know why they go to Walmart.
Right.
They go to Walmart. I don't know why, because I know a few of you out there in chat and who are listening have had this feeling that you can hear people talking or a conversation. There's nobody around you having that conversation, but it's still happening. or you get
Yeah.
this really weird feeling somebody's stalking you or watching you, and it's not a Walmart employee,
Right.
it's not them. It's like you really don't know what's happening.
Right. Right.
But I mean, it's not just our houses, it's not other people's property. It's things we do every day that we just don't realize. And I think that spirits are everywhere. It's just we're just not seeing them because we're too busy thinking about other things.
Yeah. Yeah. Most definitely. Are you there?
I mean, it's very strange. Have you ever had that, like when you've gone somewhere and just had that, besides Walmart, but just had that feeling?
Oh yeah. Most definitely. There's a restaurant in Leesburg, Missouri. It's called Skippy's. It's right on the highway, on Highway 44, right off the highway. And my daughter had went there, and she had told me she went to the bathroom. She says, "I'm never going to that restaurant again. I will never go in there. There's a ghost in that bathroom." Like, whatever.
Mm.
And she's never really been one that's really open to. She doesn't do ghosts at all. They scare her. And so I don't know. This was probably a year later. We had went there to eat lunch. She and I did, and she had to go to the bathroom, and she asked me to go in there with her. And I said, "You got to be kidding me!" I said, "You're serious about that?" She said, "Yes. I'm not going there by myself. I need you to go with me." So I went in the bathroom with her, and sure as you could definitely feel it. It was definitely in there. So it's like you said,
Right?
you don't realize, you don't even think, and your spidey senses tell you, it's like, wow, that's crazy.
Yeah. The one job that I had that I let, for
You
a
good
long
getting
time, and it was a factory, of course. It happened a couple times where things would just fall for no apparent reason, and things like that. And you're just wondering, are these employees that just never left work
right,
in
right.
there? And I've known people who have passed who worked there and they passed away.
Yeah.
They worked there their whole life, and then just one day they just didn't come back.
Yeah.
And then I was doing my job, and I turn around and look, and I see somebody standing there in my department. Well, I know everybody in my department. And I look over there, and I didn't recognize this person, and they looked kind of odd. So I turn and I look like this to look for my manager to say, "Hey, who's this guy?" And I turn back to look at him, and he's gone. He's not there.
Wow.
And he wasn't there. And I still can remember what he looked like. He was a Hispanic guy. He had a mustache. He was wearing a white, like a ball cap type of thing. A white ball cap. He had on a blue shirt, like a blue t-shirt, and just wearing jeans.
Wow.
He just
Wow.
looked just not like almost real, but not like something was kind of, I don't know. It was just kind of off. It just didn't look right. And that's why I was turning around to look for my manager and say, "Hey, who's this guy?" And he just wasn't there.
That's crazy.
And then I talked to a couple people around, but they didn't know who I was talking about. So, but this company had been opened for 40 something years. So this could have been an employee that worked there years and years ago, and I had no idea.
Absolutely. Real quick, I want to give a quick thank you to T-Bone twice for gifting the memberships, and JD Smooth. Thank you both very, very much. Sorry, Brandy. I mean,
thank you guys. Thank you so much. Oh no, that's okay. I mean, this is something I'm thinking all day. It's just strange to me how we just don't think about it. We just go about our normal everyday lives like we've got blinders on, go to these places, and you won't believe what's going on in these places. You just
right, absolutely. And
you just kind of have to shake your head.
Well, for instance, like St. Louis has a Six Flags here, and our Six Flags is haunted.
Yes.
So go back to everyday, places, even Six Flags is haunted. And my old paranormal team actually did an investigation out there. It was after hours. And, they got some really good evidence. It's definitely haunted. And not the restaurant, the hotel across the street, there's a Ramada Inn, and it's also haunted from it over there. So it's just, you just never know. I mean, if you think go to Six Flags, go ride your roller coasters, and you look next to it, is it a human or is it a spirit with you?
That is kind of scary, though. I've been there a few times, and I'm like, oh,
Me too.
didn't know that. But then again, it makes sense. It makes sense. I mean, because that could have been somebody's happy place.
Right. And I don't remember the whole backstory to it or who it was, who they figured out who it was. There are people that have died out there at Six Flags. I mean, I remember years ago, they had one of those things that you ride across, real high, and you get in the little cart and go. I think one of those fell years ago or something. And I mean, there's been people that have passed away, Thank you, Gary Spikes Senior. Appreciate that too.
Thank you, Gary.
There's just so many, so many different places. Like I said, you don't realize, like, people die all the time, and they die, be it in houses or restaurants or Six Flags, so there is. Somebody asked about, do you think it's residual? Let me see who that was. JD Smooth said that. And you know what? Some of that could be. It could absolutely be. What's your opinion?
Yeah,
Brady?
I mean, your guess is about as good as mine about that.
Yeah. So, I mean, like I said, people die, and,
Right. I mean, it's kind of like the person that I'd seen when I worked in that factory, that person, I think that was kind of residual, because they were just standing there. There was no interaction. There didn't show any, movement, like it knew what it was doing or where it was going. It was just standing there. And it could have been just that little clip in time where that guy stood there, and I happened to have caught it.
Yeah. Yeah. Amy says something here. I'm going to put her comment up. She said hospitals are terrible for hitchhikers too. Kenneth had spoke about the hitchhiker thing. Again, my oldest daughter's best friend, she was a nurse at a VA place, and she brought an attachment home from there. She sure did. So, I mean, absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah, I it's like that last one I had. I think that was a hitchhiker for me. To me, it was just looking for somewhere else to go, and it just thought, hey, I'll hitchhike with her and see where she goes. And after a while, it just, that activity started to dissipate. The less I paid attention to it, and now that particular spirit, I don't even think is here anymore. I think it's just gone.
Mm-hmm. Now
that doesn't mean I don't have others.
Right. Yeah.
I have others.
Yeah.
But
and real
that
quick,
particular one that jumped in my car.
Kenneth says, be careful out there in the field. I know one of you goes out armed when you can. Hellbent Holler is the best for this. Yes, we absolutely, when we do haunted locations, we go in armed with, our I call it my spiritual armor. We go in with that. And then when we go to the woods, absolutely, there's some pew-pews involved there. So, and yes, Hellbent Holler, they are good. Agreed. So anyway, go ahead, Brandy.
Awesome. Well, I was just looking at Devin's comment, if you want to bring that up, because I personally know of what cemetery that he's talking about. And that's the one, Krista, you and I were just talking about.
Really?
In this morning. We were just talking about this particular cemetery this morning. Yeah, that's the one. And I believe it. I absolutely believe it. I mean, we talked about the Catholic cemetery, and then we talked about the other cemetery. Yeah, this is the other cemetery. Absolutely.
Yeah. Well, and
but it's very strange.
What's that, Brandy?
It's real strange, how these entities can, just. It's like they don't even ask for a ride. They're just like, I'm going to jump in with them. That sounds good to me.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, and and I know you guys have all heard us talk about, that we think that, there's nothing good in a cemetery. The people who pass away, they're not there anymore. They've moved on. Why do they want to hang out where their body is? That's just their shell. So to me and Brandy both, we think alike on this, that, it's nothing but all sad and negativity. People are crying and upset and depressed, and all of those negative adjectives happen in cemeteries. So that is a prime way for a nasty type spirit
Yes.
to come in, and so I don't trust the spirits at cemeteries as being Mr. Joe Blow over here at all.
Right. I'm not doubting that there is maybe that one spirit that clung to its body until its final resting space and then doesn't know where to go because it doesn't have anything else and it doesn't have anywhere to go. I'm not saying that can't happen, and it might happen, but I don't think it happens a lot. I think it's very rare that a spirit will stay with its body until its final resting spot. You know what I mean? I don't think that's normal.
Right. I agree with you. So I don't know. I just feel like I don't know, just some bad stuff that can go on there. And Devin says, Texas Roadhouse, anytime you want to go, just let him know.
Texas Roadhouse, yes. Food.
I like that place,
won't
man.
Pass that up.
No, right? Texas Roadhouse.
I won't pass that up.
Yeah. Pancho says, when in the field, I've slept under covered patios at cemeteries. Yeah. Like I said, it's I know somebody who thinks that cemeteries are peaceful. So, you get one extreme or the other,
I for the most part, I think they're peaceful. For the most part, I think they are. But there's always that one.
Yeah.
There's always that one that'll freak you out.
Absolutely. And I was also reading about just kind of looking at different haunted locations that people went and think. And I ran across, there's a pool in St. Louis that's haunted. It's abandoned now, but that makes sense too, because I'm sure people have drowned.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, absolutely. Well, there's this thing that everybody can look up. Now, this thing used to freak me out. This is because I was going to cemeteries and checking things out since I was a teenager.
right.
But we'd go out there at nighttime. This is going to be news for my mom. She probably knows already. Anyway, but she's listening. But there is the cemetery statue, and it's Flint, Michigan. It's called Crack the Whip. It's a statue, and it's a whole bunch of children playing. But if you've ever played Crack the Whip, everybody holds hands, and then you jerk the person around, and everybody follows around with that person, and you just like fling each other around in a circle like that.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm telling you, there's something up with that statue. It freaks me out. I don't know why, but even till this day, it's still there, and it's still scary to me. I mean, you can look it up online. You just say, what is a Flint Cemetery Crack the Whip statue, and it come up. It's like it's right there. It's in books. It's all over the place. It's scary. It's scary.
Right?
Something so innocent during the daytime, but at nighttime, it just has a life of its own. There was also this playground when I lived in Huntsville, and many years ago. I mean, way before I'd even lived there. This thing is going crazy here. It's trying to give me something else. Hang on, let me fix it because it's putting a weird light on my face. Anyway, it was a playground and things like that. Well, a sinkhole had opened up, and a bunch of kids fell in this hole. Well, some of them made it and some of them didn't. But they've since fixed the hole and put another playground out there. And that place is very strange. It's like you can go out there and out. You can go out there in the middle of the night at this playground, and you'll see one of the swings just swinging by itself.
Oh,
Just
wow,
swinging.
Wow, that's kind of cool.
Yeah, and the other two aren't moving. Yeah, they're not doing anything. And then they have, I call them the death wheel. But the kids would jump on, and it's got the metal rails, and it spins real fast, and people would push them around in circles, and kids fly off, break arms and legs and stuff. Anyway,
Right.
But this thing would start turning. This thing would start turning all by itself.
Wow. That's different.
Yeah, it was a very strange place. But I mean, people take their kids to this park every day.
Yeah. We also, just think about all these different, like, for instance, a junkyard that has all these cars that are wrecked. How many of those cars have people died in? So, you need you need a part for your car, and people go there and, pull off an alternator on this 81 whatever to put on your car. And do you think you could bring an attachment to your car? I don't know. But,
I believe so. I mean, we've talked about Flight 407 before. Flight 407 went down, and they used the spare parts from they retrieved that are usable and put them on their planes, and then all of a sudden, all these other people were experiencing these hauntings within these other aircraft.
Sure.
Only the aircraft that got parts from this particular plane that went down. Now, you're absolutely right, Krista, when you say grabbing somebody's alternator or whatever from a vehicle in a junkyard, because I've said it before. How many spouses or others have loved their vehicle more than you?
Right. Right.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Okay. So if something should happen where there's a fatality in an accident involving that beloved vehicle,
right?
Why wouldn't that transfer from the parts to the next vehicle?
That's what I'm saying.
I talked about her before. It was the woman who got buried in her car. That she loved her car so much she got buried in that car. I know somebody out in chat has heard of that, and I can't think of her name right now. Very, it's a famous woman. Jeez, I can't think of her name right now. And like my pad is messing up, my iPad's messing up, and I can't get to it. I can't think of her name, but she loved her car.
Well, I can.
And so she.
Lady buried in her car?
Yeah. Woman buried in her car.
Let's look.
Because I know there's a couple men have done that. I don't know if it's their trucks or
her name
or whatever.
Oh, here it is. Sandra Eileen West, 1939 to 1977. Was a wealthy Beverly Hills socialite and heiress who was buried in her 1964 Ferrari 250 GT in 1977. West requested to be buried in her favorite lace nightgown, sitting in the driver's seat with the seat comfortably slanted, in a 9 by 17 foot grave at Alamo Masonic Cemetery in San Antonio, Texas. The car was then enclosed in a crate and covered with concrete to prevent grave robbers. Wow.
Isn't that a strange story?
She loved her Ferrari.
She loved her car. I'm telling you what. Like I said, she didn't want to be buried next to her ex-husband or her new husband or her husband, whatever. She just wanted her car. That was it.
Yeah. Yeah, well, I mean.
I'm like, it happens. So can you imagine if somebody dug that car up? Okay. Somebody dug that car up and then used that car for parts.
All right. There you go. That's what I'm saying. But it is in concrete. They did say that. So chances are nobody's going to get in
Right?
her car. However,
No. But I mean, it's still that point. It's I think we
especially
can
like,
transfer.
you see a lot of the older cars. I know my ex-husband was always working on like older cars, and we had several muscle cars. Like we had Corvettes, and I had old Monte Carlos and Camaros and stuff. And he would go to the junkyard and get parts for them. So that really, that was back in the 90s. Back then. That yeah, I never thought about that kind of stuff back then.
Right. I mean, especially, you're talking about people who are restoring these older vehicles, and they want to restore them back to, their original. Okay. So they're not going to be able to go out and buy these new parts and have it look original or be original. So
Right.
they're going to have to track these parts down from other vehicles that people have saved or parted out, or or even junkyards. I don't know about everybody, but there are junkyards around me that have some super old vehicles just rotting out in them.
Mm-hmm.
And if something can be used, or from these vehicles, I'm sure they're trying to find it. Out in these things. And I'm just like, I mean, this one junkyard, I'm just going to say, this one junkyard is so old that trees have grown inside the junkyard itself and has lifted these
Right.
cars up.
Yeah.
It looks like flying cars got stuck in trees, that kind of stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. We actually, Brandy and I, and we've had them on the show a couple times, but we have friends that have they're called the Haunted Garage, and they go around and they buy haunted vehicles. We'll have to have them back on again.
Yes. Yeah, I think so too. See if they've run across anything else spectacular,
They actually have. I saw on Facebook they did actually. So I'll have to reach out to them again and get them on. But yeah, so we do know people.
Yeah, because they buy them and they restore them, and yeah.
And then, they do. They restore them. They take care of them, and probably visit junkyards and everything else. But yeah. So, and they also said, in Big Bird, he says, how many cars were destroyed with the parts of James Dean's car?
I don't know.
Yeah.
That's a good question.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying.
I mean, was anything even left of that vehicle to use?
Yeah.
Was there anything left?
Right. Well, it's, then you think like Paul Walker, he died in that car accident, but I think that car caught on fire, didn't it?
I think it did. But think about this, though. How many other cars has he driven that he was absolutely in love with? Because, that kind of stuff, well, that he has driven the cars. He's driven some pretty nice cars.
Mm-hmm. Well, and then,
so I would think that he would.
Yeah. And not just cars too, I can't think of it off the top of my head, but I know there's a haunted caboose. Have you heard about that one, Brandy? That people died
in St. Louis?
No, it's not in St. Louis. I'm not sure where it is exactly, but yeah.
No.
Yeah. I'll have to look into it. And I've seen it on like different TV shows. It's a haunted train that I think there was a train accident years ago or something. So Mark says James Dean's car was very haunted, they say. Yeah.
I would have to say that.
Mm-hmm. True story. So,
because that was the car that he wanted to own. The car.
Yeah. Well, Big Bird said they heard of the haunted train. Let me see if I can find that real quick. Hold on, because it was really very interesting. Let me look.
Yeah, I guess I either don't remember or
Yeah, it's not really. It's not coming up. Haunted Railroads comes up. I'll have to look into it more. But yeah, and then like
Well,
Amy said, we
we
talked
know
about one here. Eastern Flight 401 wasn't the plane that crashed and
401.
got burned out and ended up causing hauntings and malfunctions.
That's it.
Yep,
Not
that's it.
yeah, not 407. Did I say 407? It's 401.
Yeah. So yeah, it's just some weird stuff.
Yeah,
So
I am sitting here away from. I'm sitting away from all my notes, my desk, my everything,
right.
my life.
So what
So
would
I'm kind of like
somebody want to like? I personally would not want to come back to my car or a plane that I died in or a train, you know? No?
no, I don't think so either.
Yeah.
You know, I think about my happy places have not been in a vehicle or a house or a building of any sort. Mine
Yeah.
have been out in the open. You know,
This
I
is
don't.
interesting. Look at this one here. It says, Mike A just says, I just heard about a story in Utah with an overturned car in a river where 4 cops heard a woman say to save us, only to find out that she was already dead, but her baby was still alive, and they saved the baby. How amazing is that? Like,
Wow.
Yeah, that's pretty amazing that, the mom saved that baby.
That's kind of.
Yeah.
That is kind of creepy.
See, I think it's pretty amazing though, like, because like that baby was saved, pretty cool. Morgan,
Yeah, it's
here,
almost like she wouldn't cross until she knew her baby was okay.
right? Morgan says the boat Natalie Wood was killed on, I bet is haunted. Yep. I bet so.
I've seen the documentaries on that whole scenario, and yeah, I mean, how could it not be?
Yeah. Well, and T-Bone says the Princess Grace incident with her car was wild. Wasn't she beheaded though, or something? Princess Grace in her car or something?
I don't really know the extent of her injuries offhand.
Yeah. Gotcha. Yeah.
But, okay, so if we're going to talk about a potential haunting, if we're going to talk about celebrities, what about Princess Diana? She was killed in Paris within one of those underground tunnels.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I liked her.
I did too. I thought she was very genuine, which is hard to deal with. And she wasn't stuffy. We all know that royalty can look and sound very stuffy, but she wasn't. She was very personable, did a lot of good things, and she was very genuine. That's what I liked about her. This whole royal family they have going now, I'm sorry, y'all, do better. Just come on.
I like Henry.
It's like yeah, but you don't have to turn on soap operas. I know that some people miss their soap operas. You don't even have to turn it on. Just turn on the news, watch the royal family for a little while. It is absolutely bonkers what's going on in that family.
Yeah. Yeah, they said that she was the people's princess. Absolutely. She was awesome. I liked her. I really did. I was sad when she passed away.
I did too.
Yeah. Joe Two Pops says, regards Natalie Wood. Did you see the ending of the movie Suicide Kings? Chris Walken on sailboat Catalina Island. I have not seen that.
I did not.
Yeah, we're going to have to now.
Yeah, I'm thinking so. I'm going to set this down. This thing is just not cooperating with me.
Yeah.
I'll leave it. I was trying to chat and everything else, but it's like doing this little thing and flipping around in circles, and I'm just like, just quit.
Yeah.
I have nowhere to set it down.
Right.
I don't know. These are just crazy things, though. I mean, imagine, okay, buying a car. I mean, just buying a car. I mean, we were talking about just, you see a car that's in your price range or something that's something you like or always wanted, and next thing you know, you buy it and it's Christine.
Yeah. Yeah. No kidding. You know what? When I went to,
You know what I mean?
well, a few years ago, I spoke at Scarefest, and they had the Christine car there. That was kind of cool.
Oh, did they really?
Mm-hmm.
It's a real car, folks. I'm just telling you, it's real. It's a real car.
Yeah. So here,
And
I was just going to say, Grace Kelly, she says, had a cerebral hemorrhage causing the accident and died later from brain injury and thorax and a fractured femur. Wow. She was another really pretty lady too.
She was. I just couldn't remember what the extent of her injuries were. Of course, they've got to be bad, but
yeah, there's a lot of, it's going back to the royals. Like, can you imagine? Like, I know that family is cursed. They have been for centuries, and I've read something up on it, and
kind of like the Kennedys.
Yeah, they're cursed too. I believe that. I do.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Or that family is cursed. But think about this. Think about how haunted that Buckingham Palace is.
No kidding. Look how old it is.
I know, because they always talk about the White House being haunted. Everybody knows the White House is haunted. Can you imagine what Buckingham Palace is?
Yep. Yep, absolutely.
I'd have to move in there just to investigate every day for a year to figure it out. I mean, it's wow.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. I just, I don't know. I watched a documentary on the Royals, and there's some messed up people. Like, there's so many
That's
rules.
what I said. Just watch the soap opera.
It is. It truly is.
Just watch the news.
Yeah. Yep. I will say though, I like Prince Henry or Harry. Harry, that's it. Prince Harry.
Harry.
Yeah. Yep. Because he's he went off by himself, so he doesn't deal with their BS anymore. Good for him.
Well, didn't he withdraw from all of his duties from the royal family and now just doing his own thing, and proud of him. I mean, well, because what is he going to do? I mean, he's nothing. I mean, he's not heir to the throne. He's nothing.
Yeah. Yep. Here's another one to think about do you think they haunt? What about Elvis Presley? You think he haunts Graceland?
I don't know. I don't. I know he died there. I just don't know.
And he, his death.
I didn't feel anything weird in there, but
I didn't feel weird either. But I didn't go upstairs either. They don't let you.
No, they don't let you know. Absolutely not. I don't know. Have you ever been to his childhood home in Tupelo?
Mm-hmm. Sure have been a couple times.
Did you feel anything there?
Not really. I mean, that house was so small. It's just a little 2-room shack, So I really didn't. But I had a bunch of people with me. It's family. I got family in that area. So, yeah.
Yeah, I don't. No, I've not been to his Tupelo. I've been to Memphis, but his mom is buried in Memphis.
At Graceland. Yeah, his mom.
I would think that
they're all buried there.
Yeah.
Kimberly says, yep, the top floor is supposed to be haunted, and that's why they don't let people up there. So I would believe that.
The last I heard is a relative was living upstairs. That's why nobody was allowed up there, because those are actually living quarters.
She died, though. That was his aunt. Elvis's aunt lived there. Like after he died. Yeah. I think like the whole
Mhm.
family's buried there now. Like his parents, his brother, they had moved there. He had a twin brother that died at birth. His daughter now, Lisa Marie, she's buried there. I think like her son that passed away, he's there. Like seriously, the whole family is right there. So yeah.
I don't. Would he be there? Possibly.
Maybe so. That's if
Possibly.
he died then, right?
Well, yeah. I mean, you just kind of have to look at the point where the medications and things started taking over his life,
Yeah.
and how much he would remember, or if that would be a good place for him, or was that a bad place for him?
Yeah. Go lay down. Sorry,
I don't know.
Wanting to come on here. Go lay down. Werewolf says,
Muscles bigger in your face.
would you please? Werewolf says, do you think his toilet's haunted? That's where he died, was in the bathroom.
You know, I don't think so.
Yeah.
But could things happen in there? Sure.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I think he pretty much, if he's there, I'd say he's on that floor for sure.
Yeah. So, yeah. So Devin Scott says, according to the song Walking in Memphis, he does haunt it. We need to go tour Graceland now. It's not that far. Just to look for Elvis's, see if he's a ghost there.
Well, you know, across the street there, they do have his pink Cadillac. They do have his private jet. They have all that stuff on the other side. Now, we know you love that pink Cadillac.
Yeah. I think we need to go. I think we need to go tour Graceland.
Go live from Graceland. What? How would everybody like that? We'll go live from Graceland.
Go live from Graceland. Maddie asked, what are your thoughts on haunted movie sets for like movies based off true hauntings? I think I know like there's several big name. Oh, we lost Brandy, but I believe there are several big name shows like that people have passed away. Like I know Poltergeist. I think that young girl. Oh, Brandy's back.
I'm back. Yeah.
And you know that the Poltergeist. I know that young girl that's seen the what Carol Ann or whatever. I know she passed away. I think it was on set as well. And then I think there's been several. The Exorcist. I know they had when they filmed that movie, there was a lot of bad things that happened while that was being filmed. So,
Yeah. And don't forget about the movie The Crow.
The Crow, yeah, absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I don't know. There's all kinds of crazy stuff.
I mean, there's been a lot of actors that have been killed on set. So does it make sense for them to be haunted? Yes. But, I want to remember, and I'm going to tell you, this was so long ago, that I heard about one of these scary movies or haunted movies or whatever that they were recreating or telling the story or whatever. That it actually, I don't know if they manifested it or if something else happened, but then creepy things started happening on set to them as they're filming the movie. I don't really know. I don't know. To ask me what the name of the movie was or the I don't know.
Yeah.
I cannot remember.
Author and illustrator B.J. Lapierre says, one of John Wayne's movies, a lot of people died after the film was done. We'll have to look up the name of it. I remember vaguely hearing something about that. And then Kimberly says, look at Sharon Tate's house. That's true. I forgot about that one.
Oh my gosh. I can't even imagine what that house is. I mean, you think about, well, not just the crime, but what these people worshipped in their vibrations, and just the pure energy, that negative, evil energy they left in that house while committing those crimes. I just, mm-mm.
Well, here Big Bird says 3 Men and a Baby had ghosts filmed in it. The Joe to Pop says The Omen, and then Kimberly says, yeah, that John Wayne thing was because of some kind of dust. And then author and illustrator B.J. Lapierre says The Conqueror was the name of the John Wayne movie. So, yeah. Yeah, Mark said that too, The Conqueror. So, interesting.
That is interesting.
We need to,
and it was from the dust?
That's what she said. I remember hearing something about it, like a bunch of them died. They got cancer or something after. I think several people in it. So, and then here Kimberly says there was a show and a guy built a house right down the road from Sharon Tate's house, and she haunts his house. Why would she? That's weird. Why would she go to the neighbors? Why would you think that?
Maybe she's bored. Maybe she's bored. I'd be going visiting. I wouldn't stay in my home. I'd be visiting everybody on the street. I'm like, hey, what you doing?
This is interesting. Back on the John Wayne thing, out of the 220 cast and crew members, 91 developed cancer and 46 died, likely due to exposure to nuclear fallout during the shoot.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Isn't that crazy? Look, Vic Morrow and 2 children died during the filming of the Twilight Zone movie. I had no idea.
Yes, they did. Yes, they did. I remember that now.
Yeah. So I don't know. It's just, man, there's just a lot of sad deaths, man. I'm trying to read some of the others. Yeah. Yep. The Poltergeist movies, and yeah, and just a lot of weird stuff, a lot of bad stuff that happened in Hollywood. So
yeah,
anyway.
I know, and these are just, and they're recreating a story. Sometimes fiction, sometimes nonfiction. Just depends whatever kind of story they're trying to recreate, and they end up. I don't know if it's like manifesting the actual story. If they're so focused on the story that they're creating their own energies. You know what I mean? If they're creating these own spirits, if you will. Is that kind of happening? Because you hear all the time about actors and how they get into character, and how some of them, they really focus and study and figure out who these people are before they even play them in a role. Could they be manifesting some type of entity close to what they're trying to portray in a film?
Well, listen here. Look what Morgan just said. I heard one of the actresses on Annabelle Creation was having health issues and got scratched, and her cross bracelet broke on set.
That's
there you
an evil doll. That's an evil, evil, evil doll. Yes.
Oh, yeah, sure.
But like I said, if the actors are really focusing, are they manifesting these things because they are so focused on getting their character right?
Right.
That they start believing that they're these people while they're acting,
Yeah.
that they're so far into their character. I don't know.
Yeah. Joe DePop says on The Omen, the baboon attack was real. Wow. Had no idea. Interesting.
It is strange how all these bad things happen on movie sets.
Yeah. Aren't you glad you were never grew up to be an actress?
I got stuck to the theater.
Yeah.
I just stayed away from the movies and TV. Just saying.
Well, you know, some theaters are haunted too. Just saying.
They are. They are. Yes, they are. And they have some fantastic hauntings. That's what I'm going to say. Fantastic hauntings in theaters. You know,
Yeah.
because those people they love their drama.
Mhm.
So, you know, I believe that makes them like stand out or just have I don't know. They just want to do more. They want to act out more. That's just who they were in life, you know.
Yeah.
So yeah, I could see that.
Wow. Wow. Woo Riders DG said, I had a very close encounter with a lightning strike today. The sound was deafening sonic boom and the flash lit up everything around me. I could feel the shockwave had not even been 100 feet away. Wow. Well, we are glad that.
Jeez, oh Pete.
Wow.
You know, I've had lightning close to me. Not that close, but I've had it close, so close to me. I could feel it in my teeth. I could feel, you know, it's just in my teeth. Yeah. So if it was that close to you, somebody was looking out for you.
Absolutely. I was just going to say that you're very lucky. Very, very lucky.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Your spirit guides were right there going, ooh, that was close.
Yeah. Heck yeah. Wow. That's crazy. Crazy, crazy. Well, I got packing to do. I'm going out of town.
Yes, you do.
Yeah. Yeah, I do.
I know, and that's going to be fun. So tell us what you're going to be doing.
So we are going to Eminence, Missouri. We are cross country trail ride. There's a real big trail ride several times a year down there. And we're taking horses. I'm taking the kids, and it's right on the river. It's right on Jack's Fork River and the Current River. It's all right there. And my family's going to go and be riding horses, do all that. I'm not going to ride any horses. I'm going to go sit in the woods. I'm going to go look for Bigfoots. What I'm going to do.
There you go. There you go.
Yep. So anyway, I'm looking forward to going though. It's going to be a fun trip. And, you know, just Pancho says he's going to Eminence this weekend. Hey, me too. I'm leaving tomorrow morning. So
everybody's going. Except me. Bye, everybody.
Yeah. Well, I told you, you
like, bye, everybody.
Brandy. You should come and go.
Yes, you did. Yes, you did. Right. Yeah. We could sit in the water all day and Bigfoot by night, you know, who knows?
That's what I'm saying. I'm telling you, girl. I'm telling you. So yeah, we're going down there and we've got a living quarters horse trailer, and it's literally, it's not really camping. It's modern luxuries. It's got bathroom and shower and everything. So I'm not roughing it at all. So it's going to be a fun time.
Yeah. If you've got a bathroom and, you know, a bed,
it's got a stove. My horse trailer's got a stove in it. It's got a comfy bed in it. So anyway.
Yeah. Well, it's not glamping. Believe me, it's not glamping. Glamping, I think, is when you take out your big old plushy beds and carpets and have furniture in your tent, and that's what I call glamping.
Yeah. Well, I'm not we do have a big rug we put out. I do have an awning. My horse trailer has an awning, and then, you know, we got the pop-up little canopy things, you know. I'm taking all of those. So
right.
I'm going for a week, so I have to have some kind of modern conveniences. So yeah.
You have a little bit. I mean, you do have to have a little bit because whenever I'm per se roughing it, I go home feeling worse than when I started.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's like, oh, I'm going to go be with one with nature, blah, 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 blah. And then I end up feeling worse when I get home. And I'm like, no. I need my comfy pillow. I need something comfy to sleep on. I would like to have warm food at some point,
Yeah.
not
Well,
cooked over a fire on a stick.
we're taking plenty of food, so we're we're eating good. Let me tell you. I went and did some shopping today, and I got to stop and get like refrigerated stuff tomorrow because I'm not going to haul refrigerated stuff down in the horse trailer. So anyway, I'll stop somewhere along the way and get that kind of stuff. But yeah, I'm excited and I'm ready to get out of here.
I'm interested to see if you're going to have any type of experiences or an encounter out there. Many people are talking about they're seeing signs out there of Bigfoot, out there. So I'm wondering because this is not necessarily prime time at Eminence right now.
Mm-hmm.
So
well, it is a big cross country trail.
I'm sure it'll be.
It is a big ride, so there'll probably be 2,000 horseback riders out there this weekend.
Oh, really? All during the week or just on the weekend?
All week long. No, it's a week long deal. So my plan is honestly, I'm gonna sit in the river all day and then go to the woods at night.
I can just see Krista going around to everybody. Go to bed.
Yeah.
Go to bed. I want to go to the woods. Go to bed. Aren't you tired?
They don't care. I'm taking my dogs with me. I'll take my big dog with me, and we'll just, we're actually right by the trails and stuff. So, there'll be horseback riders all day, but during the night there won't be. So that's what I'm saying, Brandy. Get off work a day. Eminence is not that far from you.
Oh yeah, it's just a couple hours. It wouldn't be bad. It wouldn't be too bad. Yeah. But yeah, that would be something though, because like I said, in that area, more and more, we are hearing more reports of not only Bigfoot but strange things happening out in that area, and I wouldn't be surprised if there's a little bit of alien reports coming out of there shortly. I'm just.
Yep.
They seem to be moving in that direction. So I'm just wondering if we're going to start hearing more or have an uptick of them from that area.
Yeah. Yeah. There's definitely a lot of reported of Bigfoot and dogmen. And so anyway, I'll keep y'all posted. And if I get service, I may go live too.
Yeah. Well, just make some video too, so the rest of us can see what you were doing.
Oh yeah, for sure. For sure. And next week, guys, so Tex is filling in for me. So you'll have Brandy and Tex next Thursday and Friday. So I don't know what the shows are going to be about. Tex said to leave it to him. So it's all between Brandy and Tex next week. So you two get together and figure it out.
Yeah, I'm kind of scared. I'm because if you watch Texas Front Porch, you know what he does to me on Mondays. So I'm kind of scared about what he's going to bring, to blondes. I'm like, okay. Okay.
It'll be good though. I'm sure. And real quick, I want to thank T-Bone for the memberships, for 10 memberships there. JD Smooth, thank you very much. Gary Spike Sr., thank you for the memberships. And T-Bone, again, thank you. We definitely appreciate you guys, all of you guys.
Every little bit helps. Even though, we don't ask for it, we do appreciate it. And we do appreciate all of you just for watching. If you could share us out and tell everybody to hit that subscribe button, that notification button, and hit that like button before you leave tonight, we'd appreciate that too.
Yep, absolutely. And I think that's about it. That's all I have. I'll see everybody in a couple weeks. Brandy will be with Bigfoot Michigan Rob tomorrow night, but you're also going to be with Paranormal Paul. You're filling in for me tomorrow on Paranormal Among Us.
Yeah, I'm going to Paranormal Among Us. That is 7 p.m. Central Time. Check us out, and then we're live with, of course, BMR at 11 p.m. tomorrow night for late night shenanigans or whatever whatever we're doing there.
And then
So make sure you
tonight,
tune in for that.
and tonight, I believe, since PRT are taking a break, I believe Joe Breezy tonight and Monica are on Joe Breezy's channel tonight. So that'll be a good one.
Well,
you guys check that one out.
Our Paranormal World is on tonight at 10. So no, that was last night.
That was last
So
night.
they're going to be on there tonight.
They're going to be on tonight, not on our Paranormal World. They're going to be on Joe's channel. Joe Breezy said it last night's show. So
Okay. So check them out tonight too, because they're really fun to listen to, and they've got a lot of knowledge. So make sure you check them out too.
Yep. And Donny Cho says stuff. He's on. He'll be on tomorrow night. Like I said, I don't know the times, guys, and I apologize. But Joe Breezy's channel name, it's look under Joe Breezy, and it's Breezy Speakeasy, I believe, is what it is. But yeah,
I think it is too. And Donny Cho says stuff comes on about.
I was just going to say real quick, Amy, if you look in the description on this show, I believe it's in there because he's one that we promote. So the link to it is right in there.
And like I said, Donny Cho says stuff comes on at 8:30 tomorrow evening.
Yeah. Oh, and so is Fisher of Spam. He's on tomorrow night too. So awesome.
Well, we have got a whole bunch of stuff to watch.
Yeah, no kidding. Yeah, it's going to be a good night for everybody. So good weekend. So appreciate everybody.
Yeah, good weekend. Great stuff to watch.
Yes, watch. And thank you once again, everybody, for tuning in. And I'll see y'all in a couple weeks. And you guys see Brandy tomorrow night. So thank you and good night.
All right, everybody.
Good night.
Good night, everybody.